We got Janay Harding back here on the program. She's going to be fighting at Bellator 219 on March 29th. Janay, how are you this morning?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. It's evening where I am. It's morning where you are. So what's on the agenda for Monday? You're in the future, right?
Yes, I am in the future. I'm in York tomorrow. Already so far, I've gone to boxing this morning and then had something to eat, and then I'll probably just stop it. Probably just sorry, I'm just playing with my cat.
No worries.
He's a
No worries.
gremlin.
Yeah.
So you can just be in the interview.
That's perfect. I love it.
He's like, no. And then we'll probably maybe go on and then do some jiu-jitsu drilling maybe later on in the day.
Well, that sounds like an awesome day. And of course, doing this interview with me, which I really appreciate. Let's talk about your last fight, a TKO win. It was a doctor stoppage over Sinead Kavanagh. A great win. It must have been nice to get that victory and get some weight lifted off your shoulders, getting that Bellator victory.
For sure. As we know, I didn't win my promotional debut, so it was nice to kind of come back after that loss and win against Sinead and kind of prove myself in the division and make sure everyone knew that I was a legitimate force to be reckoned with in the featherweight division. So, yeah, I was really happy about that.
Were you happy with your performance? I mean, a win is a win, but were you happy overall with how you performed and everything? Because you looked great in that fight, I thought.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think there was a lot of improvements. The main thing that I recognized was just my maturity and my calmness in the fight. Being able to execute the game plan that I had kind of worked on, and I'd been working those elbows all week, all camp, so it was really good that I kind of did exactly what I wanted to, and just my calmness and being able to kind of be a little bit more experimental and let my skills just prove themselves in a way, that made a difference. And I was really excited to have a second round. I was expecting a second round. Obviously, we work really hard to not have to work any more than 5 minutes if we can, but at the same time, I was going into the second round. I was really excited for what I was going to do, and I was expecting the fight to just continue on kind of in that same direction either way. But I'm glad, obviously, that it got stopped because that saves us any unnecessary damage, and it was still a dominant performance, I feel, from the first round. So, yeah, it was really good.
I'd agree with that. Now, when did you find out about this fight? Because Bellator does this weird thing sometimes where they'll just announce a bunch of fights, and then you just look at the card and you're like, oh yeah, you're on here. So when did you find out about this?
To be honest, I did find out about the date maybe 6 weeks ago or so.
Oh, okay. So it was a bit of notice then. Good.
Yeah, but they weren't 100% confident on the opponent, not because of her, just because she was a fresh signing and they needed to organize her visa and everything. So it was more like, it'll definitely be this date, might be this girl, but if not, if she doesn't get her visa, we'll maybe replace it for somebody else. So it was sort of not 100% confirmed up until a week or so ago, where I actually got my contract and we started booking flights and everything like that. But they did give me plenty of warning that be prepared, it'll probably be this date and this kind of location and this is the card, but we're just kind of figuring out what opponent it will be.
When are you getting to the U.S.?
So I get there on Monday.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that's a bit of time to kind of get acclimatized and everything well, with the time change, I mean, and all that, which is great. First time going to California?
Second, because I got to fight in San Jose in May last year. So
that's right. That's right. Yeah. But it's always really awesome to go to California, right? As far as
And it's so big, you can't. Yeah, even though you've been to California, I went to San Jose, and there's nowhere near as obviously all the rest of it. And I'm lucky enough that after this fight, I'll get to spend a week kind of in that area and be able to check out a couple more places that I haven't seen before. So yeah, it's always nice. And I mean, all the Bellator guys are telling me that I'll really like Temecula either way. So it'll be cool.
That's awesome. You know that I got to say this as a Canadian. I always bring up the stat. There's more people in California than there are in the entire country of Canada.
No way. That doesn't even surprise me.
I know.
So
I mean, obviously Canada's way bigger, but it's still just crazy to think how many people are there. That's why the traffic's so bad. That's why I can never live there.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm not looking forward to that week after when we're going to drive from Temecula to
yeah.
Not going to be that fun, but it'll be worth it once we actually get to the destination.
Yeah, that'll be tough. You talked about your opponent there. I didn't mention her name. Marina Mukhi. I don't know, I'm butchering that. 4-1 record though. That's the main thing here. Tough opponent. What do you know about her? How do you feel like you match up against her here?
Yeah, I feel like obviously our styles are polar opposites in a way. She's a sub artist, and all the 4 pro wins are from subs, and all my pro wins are from KOs and TKOs. So I like that kind of matchup, that kind of grappler v striker, I guess, in a way. she's obviously like quite mature in a competition history as well, having Sambo championships and stuff like that, and having been part of martial arts for a while. So that's really nice to know that she's like a tough opponent that I'll be able to come up against and hopefully just execute my game plan perfectly, and it should offset hers, and it works out well.
Who've been some of the people that have been helping you get ready for this fight?
I've been training a few places. My main strength and conditioning is at Ethos Performance with a coach up there, and then my MMA gym is Triple X Fight Academy, and then my boxing is under Ant Redwood in the Grange High Performance. So I've kind of been spreading my training out a little bit, but it's been really positive. Everyone's kind of jumped on board and helped me in the places that I need, and it'll work perfectly in what we kind of want to execute coming 2 weeks.
How's the weight cut going? Long distance to travel again. How do you manage? How do you navigate through that when you have long travel times?
Yeah, of course, it's always like you kind of stress out about the flights and stuff, but I'm lucky, like I'm now located in Sydney permanently, so it's nice to know that I literally only have one flight, Sydney to LA. I don't have to go to the East Coast, I don't have to go anywhere from there, I don't have to get another flight to San Jose or whatever. It's just LA, Sydney direct, so one flight I should be able to handle. I mean, it's not like this is my first time kind of flying overseas and stuff with the weight cuts and everything like that, so as long as I just keep on top of water, and obviously I can't eat plain food and stuff, but that's all easy enough. I'm kind of happy that it's like the shortest journey I've had so far, so it should be good.
What do you do on the airplane? Do you bring a book? Do you listen to music? Do you sleep? All of the above? What would I find you doing?
Yeah, everything. I literally give myself as many options as I can. I download podcasts before I leave. I make sure all my music's downloaded because I obviously have a streaming app. I make sure, I have a book if I need it. I have a book to write in as well, one to read, one to write in. And then I usually just end up watching movies, to be honest, on the plane. But
Right,
I
yeah.
make sure I have the options just to change it up so that if I can't sleep or whatever, then I have enough stuff to occupy me, and I'm not thinking about food or everyone around me kind of eating and stuff like that.
What are your go-to podcasts? You piqued my interest. What do you like listening to?
I have a couple. I like the Tim Ferriss podcast. I obviously like Joe Rogan. I like This Past Weekend by Theo Vaughn for something a little bit more casual. Yeah, just kind of a whole lot of stuff.
I like my favorite Tim Ferriss podcast is the one where he gets everyone in their morning routines, which I find so interesting because everyone's got a different method and stuff, and it really is such an important thing to get your day started, right? So
sure, I have the Tools of Titans book, and that has literally obviously everyone listed in the first page of their kind of section, whatever they have. It has their morning ritual and whatever that it is that they do kind of regularly. So it's nice to be able to flick through that sometimes as well and be able to read what Arnold Schwarzenegger does in the morning or whatever else it may be. It's pretty cool.
Speaking of pretty cool, March 29th, this fight is going to be awesome. Now, how do you see this unfolding? Are we going to see another finish in this fight?
For sure. That's always the aim, and I like to stay consistent in what I've done in the past. But I'm hoping, that it'll probably be second round finish for this one. Exactly the same, just because I know that, especially with her style, that I can offset that with my striking, and we can work towards getting the W that way.
And what's next for you after this? I imagine, if you get another win here, it's still kind of a division. They're still building to a certain degree. What do you sort of have, in mind for the rest of the year?
Well, I still have 2 fights left after this one on my contract, so there's obviously, it's pretty stacked at the moment. I mean, we're also all kind of fighting each other in this division, so I'm expecting to maybe have a couple more fights before I kind of earn my title shot and move towards, if it is still Julia, in that maybe my next contract or maybe the last fight of this contract. I mean, I know that I was in talks with people like Olga, and Olga was meant to fight Sinead, and then Cindy Dandos for Olga as well, and she wouldn't mind fighting me. And then obviously there's kind of this little bit of a pyramid-y thing with all us fighting each other. So yeah, I'm just expecting to get 2 solid opponents to finish out the year, get 2 more wins after this one, and finish out my contract kind of knowing that I'm in a good position and possibly re-sign or moving forward.
I know you live in Sydney now, but you're originally from New Zealand, and we had obviously that tragedy that took place last week. Did you have anyone that was impacted by that? I'm sure you have family back there. What was sort of your? I mean, it's terrible news. I mean, there's no real way to react to it, but were you impacted directly in any way?
Well, I'm actually from Christchurch, and I lived there until I was 10. So all my mom's side of the family is still from there, and all she grew up there as well. So all her friends and stuff are there. I was lucky enough that none of my cousins or aunties or uncles were kind of in the vicinity when it happened. But at the same time, my godmother and my mom's best friend is a police officer there, so she is obviously directly kind of affected being on the front line and stuff like that, and kind of being involved. And she said she was obviously extremely busy now, and everything's on lockdown and everyone's on high alert and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it is terrible news. I mean, it's such a small place. You kind of don't expect that some like place like Christchurch, who has just been affected by so many earthquakes, is now going to go through another traumatic experience that's sort of stopping the world. I mean, from my perspective as well, being from there and like knowing how small it is, it's kind of like, how is something so large happening to something so small in a way? But yeah, hopefully a lot of like positive can come from it. I was saying this yesterday, just like that it's bringing a lot of people together and bringing a lot of people forward to wanting to speak out, that they're more open and more tolerant of other people's religions and stuff like that. And I think that's the best way to offset kind of hate, if we just sort of concentrate on positive and everyone kind of comes together.
We're going to end this interview on a positive note. We saw your cat. He made a cameo. Boy or girl, cat?
He is a boy. He's a gremlin. And for some reason, because he's not getting any attention right now, he's just going crazy.
I know the feeling. I had the same thing yesterday with my cat. He was jumping up on me or whatever. How long have you had him?
He's my boyfriend, so I'm kind of his stepmom. But he's a Bengal, and he's about 9 months. And
awesome.
Yeah, he's really cute, obviously, but he's also a little shit.
I love it. I love it. What's his name?
His name's Saber.
Okay. Sava, you said?
Saber, yeah, like Sabertooth kind of.
Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. That's good. I as anyone knows who follows me on Instagram, I love cats. I have a British Shorthair Seal Point, and he's awesome. Like, people think he's Siamese because of the coloring, but he's actually a British Shorthair. So he's got that he's got that soft like rabbit fur or whatever. So
yeah, I get you.
Yeah, so it's awesome. And before I lose half my audience, we got to wrap things up here. It's Bellator 219 coming up here March 29th. Janay, it's always great catching up with you. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Obviously, everyone can pretty much all my social medias across the board are under Janay Harding. Instagram is under that, and Facebook, and then Twitter is Janay Harding 1, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I just would like to thank all my gyms that I've shouted out previously and mentioned previously for all the help throughout this camp. And then I'm looking forward to showcasing my sponsors on the night, so that'll be great.